Mikhail and I are down here. This is the first boil of the season. We're just going to kind of sweeten the pan a little bit here. We got to just concentrate it. We got about 200 gallons, probably about 150 gallons of sap right now. And we're just going to concentrate it down a little bit, then wait for the next run, and then we'll really get boiling. So we're not going to draw off any syrup today, but we'll get going here. We can see the sugar house has been cleaned up, ready to go. So we're ready to boil. Got to start a fire. All right, we got the fire going now. The steam's starting to roll off of here. Again, we're just getting this stuff concentrated down tonight. We don't have a lot of sap right now. It's still going to run. We're getting some cold weather, but I think 2019 we started boiling March 4th. Last year we started boiling on the 2019 we started boiling on the 21st. Last year we started boiling on the 4th. So right in the middle now, so not too early, but it'll come. And so a little history of the sugar house here. We built this sugar house in 2018, and our first year of sugaring was 2019. And so now this is going to be our third year boiling. We're kind of done with infrastructure. We got all the pipeline tubings all up. Sugar house is nearly complete. A little bit of trim work and another window to put in, but everything's pretty much done here. So we're just ready to boil this year. Looking forward to making usually around 50 to 55 gallons of syrup. Depending on what Mother Nature gives us. So big thanks to Mother Nature and all the people that have farmed this land before for taking care of these trees and allowing us to come in here and tap them. The first boil of the year is also about setting up a gradient. We're trying to get progressively sweeter sap from the back where the sugar, where the sap comes in. You know, it's 1.2% right now, and where we draw off on the evaporator, you know, eventually that's going to be syrup. So this first boil is really about getting this gradient set up, and then next time we come down, we'll be able to just start boiling right away and draw off at, you know, once we put 40 or 50 gallons of sap into the evaporators. All right, so here's a little tour of where the syrup is made, but it comes in here as sap and flows down this pipe and goes into this tank first. And there's a float in here that helps regulate how much the level of this back pan. And from here it goes into a pipe and it goes over to the side that our Mikhail is on. I just moved. It goes over to that side. And so that side over there is 1.2% sap. And then it flows and gets more and more concentrated as it comes down and around here. And it comes into here. And by here it's a little more concentrated. But then it's going to come out through this pipe here and flow into this float. And this float right here, made by our good friend George Cabot Sr., regulates the front pan. And then the same thing happens in this pan. You know, the less concentrated stuff comes in at that float, and then it works its way through each one of these pans. It kind of winds its way through until it gets over to this side. And then once it's over in this pan, this will eventually be syrup in here. And we'll draw it right off of this valve here. And we do it two ways. We watch temperature and we watch density of the sap, the syrup, eventually finished syrup, the density of it. So we'll have more on that when we draw off, but that's kind of how the pan works here. All right, we're gonna fire the firebox here in a minute. We fire about every 10 minutes. And the first 2 years we all cut 16-inch wood. This year we went to 24-inch wood, and I'm loving it. It is so much better to get those big logs in there. It just makes it so much easier, and it's boiling way better. This thing is just rumbling right now. It's like just boiling away. So really looking forward to this 2-foot wood this year. A little tougher to split, but it's worth it, I think, now that we can get through and get, you know, probably at least a third more wood in the firebox every time we fire. All right, so this is how we fire. We got to start by getting some firewood. It's all behind this door right here. Here's our firewood stacked up. We got about 2 cord of wood in there. Put a stack here in front. time to feed the fire. Every 10 minutes, it gets a bunch of wood. Don't touch. Put this big one in here.
I work as a hand in San Saba, fences and windmills to mend. I've been out on a crew, eating tumbleweed stew, 3 weeks in the